Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Friday, May 17th, 2024, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App $ ORION or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got the Seattle Mariners versus the Baltimore Orioles. First pitch will be here in about 10 minutes. So let's actually cue the thumb, and I'll get the music rolling, and we'll get into the starting lineups. Let's go, baby. Happy Friday. All right, baby. Here we go. And on the thumb, on the left, we got Julio Rodriguez. And on the right, superstar stud Adley Rutschman. Let's start it off with the visiting Seattle Mariners. Leading off for the Seattle Mariners, playing shortstop, Demo Dylan Moore. Batting second and playing center field, no fly zone, Julio Rodriguez. Let's go, J-Rod. Batting third, DHing tonight for the Mariners, Mitch Garver. Batting cleanup and batting fourth, catching tonight for Seattle, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Batting fifth, playing right field tonight, Mitch Hennigan. Batting sixth and playing second base for Seattle, Josh Hollywood Rojas. Batting seventh and playing first base for the Mariners, Ty France. Batting eighth and playing left field, Luke Raley. And batting ninth, playing third base this afternoon, Luis Urias. And on the mound for the Mariners with a 3-3 record, an ERA of 2.66, Bryce Miller. And you know what time it is? It's Miller time, baby. Let's go. Let's go, Bryce. And let's get into the home Baltimore Orioles. Leading off for the Baltimore Orioles, playing shortstop, Gunnar Henderson. Batting second, catching tonight for Baltimore, Adley Rutschman. Batting third and playing right field tonight, Ryan O'Hearn. Batting cleanup and batting fourth, first baseman, Ryan Mountcastle. Batting fifth, DHing for the Orioles, Anthony Santander. Batting sixth, playing center field this evening, Colton Causa. Batting seventh and playing third base, Jordan Westberg. Batting eighth and playing left field, Kyle Stowers. And batting ninth, playing second base for the O's, Jorge Mateo. And on the mound for the Orioles with a 1-0 record, an ERA of 3.09, John Means. Let's go, Mariners. Let's get it, baby. I'm ready. Happy Friday. Hope everyone is having a fantastic day. Daniel in the building. What's good? And like I mentioned on every stream, make sure you guys are taking care of your mental health. Shout out to all the people watching on Twitter/X as well as YouTube. And, addiction, depression, anxiety, a lot of these things people go through on the daily. So if you feel like you're slipping into the darkness, make sure you're making some minor positive adjustments to your routine to win the day. Exercise, right? Make sure you're listening to music, hang out with friends, spend time with pets. Making these minor adjustments to your normal daily routine will lead into positive results, to a positive routine, and then you can win the day. Big facts. Let's go, baby. Seattle Mariners, Baltimore Orioles. First pitch here in just a couple of minutes. Let's go. Go, baby. City Connect for Friday night for the Baltimore Orioles. Let's go. This is going to be a good one, too. And, like I said, this is going to be a big test for the Seattle Mariners. We're first place in the American League West, but, the Baltimore Orioles and the New York Yankees are going to be alternating from first and second in their division. Same thing goes with the Texas Rangers and the Seattle Mariners. I believe that those are the four best right now, in the American League. You still can't sleep on the Guardians and a few others in the Central, but it's going to be very, very tough to see what we can do on the road for us Mariner fans. And then obviously after this series is over, it doesn't get any easier. We go into the same division and we're going to go to New York and we're going to have a road matchup against the New York Yankees. So after this, 6 or 7 games, we're going to definitely find out, if the Orioles can keep up with teams like the Baltimore Orioles, if we can keep up with the New York Yankees, as well as the Texas Rangers. Let's go, baby. David in the building. What's good? I'm a big Cal Raleigh guy. And again, our pitching staff wouldn't be as good without Cal Raleigh. Cal is one of those guys to me when he first came in, within the first couple of years, he was already a top 10 catcher. Now, I really do believe he's a top 5 catcher in baseball. He's the best power hitter, from that particular position. He's a switch hitter. He's gotten much better at defense, obviously throwing from his knees to first, second, and third, and throwing guys out. He has so much leadership that a lot of people, want to give Julio, as like the main guy on the roster. But if you really think about it, Julio's been struggling this year. He hasn't really found himself. Seems like he's a little lackadaisical on the, on the base running, on the defense, and obviously swinging at everything in the box. Has to learn how to be patient in the box to be able to elevate his career from being just a good player to being a great player to being possibly a Hall of Famer. But I think Cal Raleigh, to me, he is just as important as any player on the team. And I guarantee if we didn't have someone as qualified as Cal at catcher, our pitching staff wouldn't be top 5 overall. Shout out to Cal Raleigh. Shout out to Cal Ripken, one of my favorite players, obviously on the Orioles from back in the day. I'm old, so again, I watched Billy. I watched Cal. I watched his dad when they were all on the same team, when the dad was managing the roster, and then you had Billy and you had Cal. Obviously, the Orioles have had a long period of not really being that good of a team, and being small market like Seattle, I always feel for teams that are similar to us, and I like small market teams, like Baltimore as well. Everyone can, obviously ride the coattails of the Yankees and the Rangers, but in all honesty, when it's all said and done, don't be surprised if the Orioles and the Mariners end up playing each other in the ALDS or the ALCS, or possibly at some point one of these two teams would be representing the American League to go to the World Series. I truly believe that, in the next 5 to 10 years, I wouldn't be surprised if we get an Oriole World Series appearance or a Seattle Mariner World Series appearance. But if I had to watch one team other than Seattle Baltimore would be my favorite team to watch in Major League Baseball. Like I said, I can always watch the Braves. I can watch my dad's Dodgers. My dad's been a Dodger fan since the 50s. You know, the Phillies are always going to bring it there in the National League. But again, if I had to choose between the Rangers, the Yankees, or the Orioles, as far as like good competition, give me the O's all day. This is going to be tough. I got mad respect and mad love for the Baltimore Orioles, 27-14. Again, they're going to be competing, you know, week in and week out, you know, with the New York Yankees for first place. But when it's all said and done, the Yankees and Orioles should both be into the playoffs. Same thing goes for the Rangers and the Mariners. It just depends if the Orioles and Mariners are going to be in first place or if we're both going to be wild card teams going in. Diana in the building. What's good? Do I think Bryce will get 4 strikeouts? Well, normally for our Mariners staff, we usually go for 10. So, again, you know, we got Luis Castillo. We got George Kirby, we got Logan Gilbert, we got Bryce Miller, and we got Brian Wu. So it is possible for every one of those pitchers to get 8 to 10 Ks. We always shoot for the moon and shoot for 10, but every one of those guys is qualified to hit 8 to 10 Ks. Now, will Bryce get 4 or more today? I don't know. I don't really know what type of game we're going to get here. Again, we haven't played each other yet. I will be going to the Baltimore Orioles versus Seattle Mariners in Seattle in July, so I will be going there on July 3rd because I want to be able to take a look at this team firsthand. But they're very, very skilled. They're very, very young, and they have a lot of potential. And again, a couple years ago, we thought maybe it would be the Toronto Blue Jays and the Mariners as a young and up-and-coming team. But the Blue Jays have slid. The Orioles have went in the opposite direction. They've gone up. And I'm really excited about this matchup. And again, this could go either way. You know, the winner of the series, it'll probably go 2 out of 3. And is it going to be 2 out of 3 for Baltimore? Or is it going to be 2 out of 3 wins for Seattle? We'll have to wait and see. I don't think either team is going to get swept. Means first pitch. Demo chopped towards third base, foul. Oh, it's fair. Go, go, go. I thought that was foul. There we go. Demo with a stand-up double, baby. I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine, George. I have no idea. I'm hoping the Mariners will win, but honestly, if we lose, I wouldn't be shocked. There we go, Demo. Way to get on John Means early. And I thought it was foul, but it actually curved in fair at the last minute. Let's go. We're ready to score already. Next up, center fielder, Julio Rodriguez. Let's go, J-Rod. Let's go, baby. Make sure you guys smash the like button. And if you guys have a Twitter/X account, do your boy a solid. Like and retweet the stream there as well. That'll get us more people. Appreciate you guys very, very much. Let's go. Another pitch outside, 2-0 count. Pitch right down the middle. Big swing and a miss to Julio. 2-1 count. Shout out to my boy Odin Sen for liking and retweeting the stream. I appreciate that. And hopefully we can end up getting 20 likes and we go for 100 donos on every stream. So shout out to Odin Sen. I appreciate that. Pitch is outside, 3-1 count. And if you haven't smashed the like button just yet on the YouTube side, please do. Looks like we got almost 10 already. Julio all the way to center field. 1 away. Demo tags up and goes to third. Safe. Just barely. Let's go. Next up, DHing for Seattle, Mitch Garver. We're beating up on John Means so far early. I like that. We'll make sure we're giving the O's proper love as well. John Means, 1-0 record with a 3.09 ERA. This is going to be tough to be able to, get hits on this lefty, but we'll find a way. We got to dig deep. .174 average, 5 home runs, and 13 ribbies in 2024. Big swing and a miss, 1-1 count. Come on, Garv, we're going to need you, baby. Pitch in the zone for a strike. 1-2 count. Come on, Garv. Wow, that looked like strike 3 for whatever reason. The ump didn't call it. Oriole fans getting on the ump early. 2-2 count. That definitely was a strike 3 there. Strike 3 looking, but I'm not sure what the ump saw. Come on, Garv. Means 2-2 pitch. Chopper. Oh, baby, there we go. Nice RBI past the third baseman. 1-0 Mariners. Attaboy. Let's go, baby. Next up, big dumper catcher Cal Raleigh. Let's go. Let's go, big dumper. One of my favorite players on the team overall. Definitely Cal and Julio are on my top. You know, I like J.P. Crawford. You know, I like the pitching staff. You know, I like George Kirby. You know, I like Bryce Miller. But, again, Cal is such a great leader. And, again, if we didn't have a catcher as good as him, switch hitter, someone that can hit for power, and someone that has that leadership, our pitching staff would not be even close to being top 5. Popped up, a mile, 2 away. Mother dumper. I got a really sweet Cal Raleigh rookie card auto, too, when he ended up hitting that home run to get Seattle in the playoffs for the first time in 20-plus years. I remember as soon as he hit it, I went on eBay, and I was like, oh, I better buy one. And I didn't want to, you know, I wanted to get a graded one. But, again, I didn't see one that I really liked, you know, as far as, like, the image on the front and the card. So I ended up buying for the very first time a non-graded rookie card auto, but I don't regret it. I haven't sent it in to get it graded yet, but it is beautiful. Sitting on the dresser, I'm looking at it now. Haniger, big swing and a miss behind in the count, 0-2. Go, Mitch. 354 average, 3 home runs, and 8 ribbies. Career in Camden Yards for 13 games. Well, the dumper usually sits by third base. I'll be looking. Does she usually have a sign? Or I imagine the camera will pan on her, you know, at some point in the broadcast here and there when he's up. So top of the first, 1-0 Mariners. Means Haniger. Wow, we are really ripping into Means. I did not assume that this was going to happen. Nice job, Haniger. Nice job, Hanny. Next up, second baseman, Hollywood. Josh Rojas. Let's go, Hollywood. The most consistent batter for our team, Hollywood Rojas. The only one batting over 300, 330 average. You know, the most clutch hitter is Cal Raleigh. The most consistent hitter, Hollywood Josh Rojas. Best pitcher so far is Logan Gilbert, but the others are starting to get close. Castillo started off 0-4, but he's been winning his last few starts, getting back on track. Kirby and Miller are kind of hit or miss. They're either really, really good or really, really bad, but starting to get to that really, really good again. And then obviously Brian Wu is just back, from the injury in the 5-hole, and he's been looking fantastic. So we're definitely locked and loaded on the pitching side. Our mid-relievers could be a little bit better. Our bullpen, I love our closer, Andres Munoz. But again, our mid-relievers, that is definitely one of the weaknesses, as well as just, hitting for average. Our hitting is bottom 10. But if we can find a way to be like 15th, like be in the middle, we could end up making a World Series with this roster if we can get our hitting from being bottom 10 to being somewhere between 10th and 15th, especially if we have top 3, top 5 pitching. Check swing. Did he go? No, he did not. 2-2 count. Runners at first and second. 2 outs. 2-2 count. Means on the mound. Josh Hollywood Rojas in the box. Big swing and a miss. Means got him. Big punch out on Hollywood Josh Rojas. All right, baby. And you know what time it is? It's Miller time. 3-3 record with a 2.66 ERA. Bryce Miller. Let's go, baby. And hopefully we can throw this graphic up 10 times, but it's going to be tough. The Orioles are one of the best in the world, so we're going to have to bring everything that we got here tonight. Let's see who's up here for the Baltimore Orioles. Jam-packed superstar lineup. Leading off for the Orioles, shortstop Gunnar Henderson. Batting second, catching for the Baltimore Orioles, got Northwest ties, Adley Rutschman. And batting third, playing right field, Ryan O'Hearn. Let's go, baby. Let's go. I am ready. Lefty, switch, lefty, right, switch, left, right, lefty, right. They got a nice lineup, for guys that can switch, and a nice back and forth with lefties and righties. That's going to bring a lot of success for the Baltimore Orioles. 8 starts for Bryce Miller, 3-3 record. Let's go, Bryce. First pitch right down the middle. That's a good sign. Let's go, Bryce. .259 average. Gunnar, back, gone! Right in the front row. It didn't go that far over the wall, but it made it. Wow. That's a great start there for Gunnar Henderson. Not what you want to see for Bryce Miller. What an electric start for Baltimore. Gunnar Henderson with a solo dinger, and we got our game tied up 1-1. Wow. Next up, catcher Adley Rutschman. Well, that was quick. Well, it looks like we're going to get some runs here today. I mean, these teams got, good pitching, good hitting. We're on the road, but, man, Gunnar Henderson crushed the shit out of that. And like I said, they have 2 players on the roster that you can build around on any team in Major League Baseball. Adley Rutschman and Gunnar Henderson. There's a few others that are up and coming as well, but my goodness, crushed it. One pitch. Rutschman, little blooper into right field to Haniger. Man, not a good look on Bryce Miller so far. Those City Connects are working out for them. Next up for the O's, right fielder Ryan O'Hearn. Pitches outside, 1-0 count. Got a good one already so far, 1-1 in the first inning. Right fielder Ryan O'Hearn in the box, 1-0 pitch for Miller. Wow, 3 consecutive in a row. We might have to get Bryce out of there. And again, sometimes Bryce Miller will be really, really hot, and other times he's really, really not. And it looks like it's going to be one of those nights where we'll probably have to pull him in the 3rd or 4th inning, based on these type of pitches that he's putting out. My goodness. Next up for the Baltimore Orioles, first baseman Ryan Mountcastle. Bottom of the first, 1-1, runners at first and second with no outs, 272 average, 6 homers, and 18 ribbies in 2024. Matt in the building, what's good? Make sure you message if you know that you're going to not be on time. You know, it's like, you know, having a boss. You know, like I said, you got to be able to shoot a message. It takes 1 second to do that if you already know that you're not going to be, you know, here at that particular time. Wow. Rushman scores off the air. Jesus. 2-1 Orioles. Come on, Demo. And if you haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. We need 3 more people to get to 2 more people to get to 10. And then hopefully we can get the other 10 in the last hour of the broadcast. We got 23 people in the room watching on Twitter/X as well as YouTube. Appreciate y'all. Come on, baby. Focus, Mariners. We don't want to get swept by this team. And again, you know, the Mariners and the Orioles are both young and up-and-coming teams. I would not be shocked if we play each other in the ALDS or ALCS. We already know that the Rangers and the Guardians, you know, as well as the Yankees, there are going to be other teams that are going to be jockeying for position in the American League. But for sure, these are 2 of the top 4 that are in the American League this year. Right now, Baltimore looks very, very good at home. Bottom of the first, 2-1 Orioles. Runners on the corners with no outs. Bryce Miller. It's Anthony Santander to foul one back. 0-1 count. Santander. Oh, 1 pitch. Pop foul behind in the count, 0-2. Chops it foul. Little foul ball there again for Santander. They popping the Millers. Hey, they are. They just low into the dirt, 1-2 count. But just based on how this first inning has gone, you know, usually Bryce is either lights out or this happens. And the same thing happens with Castillo, you know, Logan Gilbert, you know, Brian Wu, you know, all of them, you know, all of our starting 5, you know, George Kirby, you know, it's either going to be a lights out start, you know, and they're going to be pacing for 8 to 10 Ks. You know, we're not going to be maybe as good as Paul Skeens there for Pittsburgh. You know, that might be like the sensational phenom. I'm not sure if I've seen a pitcher with that type of potential, you know, pitching for 100 miles an hour almost every single pitch that he has and retiring, you know, the side over and over and over again. That guy looks like he can pace for, you know, 10 to 14 Ks every game. And I don't know if I've ever seen anyone that good this early in their career. So definitely I watched this start against the Cubs earlier today, but hopefully this pitching staff collectively can buckle in. 3-2 pitch from Bryce Miller to Santander. Pop foul. He's working the count. Runners on the corners with no outs. 2-1 Orioles. Like, sub, donate, comment, share, help you boy out. If you haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. It'll help us out on the algorithm. 3-2 pitch in the zone, and he walked him. Damn it, bases loaded. We need one more person to smash the like button, and we'll be at 10. So we got 13 people on the YouTube side, and then another 13 on the Twitter/X side, but they don't have a like button on their end. Do your boy a solid, so that way we can get more people here in the room. I appreciate y'all. Appreciate that. Thank you, Matt. Hopefully we can get some people to do the same, and I imagine we'll get a few people popping in as as we get further along into the stream. Shout out to Odinson and Matt for the liking and retweeting the stream on Twitter/X. Bottom of the first, bases loaded, no outs, 2-1 Baltimore. Wow, fair ball down the first base line. 1 scores, 2 score. 4-1 Orioles. Wow. And, again, Mariner fans, we knew that this was going to be tough going in. And, again, our pitching has to be on point. Otherwise, Baltimore does this to everybody. So it's not like they're just doing it to Seattle. They do this to everyone. And that's why a lot of people have them as a favorite to go to the World Series and to represent the American League this year over Seattle, Texas, and New York, as well as Cleveland. So they're exciting. They're fun. And again, if I had to choose one team to watch other than the Mariners, it's this team. They're phenomenal. 4-1 Baltimore. And at this pace, Bryce Miller is going to be out within the next couple innings. Julio into center field. Runner tagging up from third. Santander, 5-1 Orioles. Golly. Bryce Miller, boo! But you got to give credit to the O's. They are awesome. Yeah, this is getting ridiculous. That's why with like Bryce Miller and Luis Castillo and Wu and George Kirby, it's like we got, 5, arguably the best 5 starters, 1 through 5, in baseball. We're very solid there, and everyone can get to 10 Ks. But again, sometimes George Kirby, Bryce Miller, they're really good or really not. And Castillo started off the year 0-4, so it's taken him some time to get going. And Brian Wu was injured, and he just got his second start a couple days ago after being injured the whole year. And we had Emerson Hancock filling in, and he wasn't good. So really, we only have one solid, consistent pitcher in Logan Gilbert. And in the last 2 starts, he struggled. So we need to find a way to figure it out. And our hitting needs to get better to make up for this bad pitching that we have. But not only is the pitching, a little raw, right? But you have to give credit to the Orioles. They're that good. So it's not like our pitching staff sucks. Baltimore is that good, and I think people will start to realize that. Yeah, I mean, it's a fun matchup to watch. I'll tell you that, even though we're down. And again, we just have to hope that we don't get swept. And we got a game tomorrow on FS1, global broadcast at 1. It'll be Luis Castillo versus you guys are undecided on the Orioles side. And then we have a matchup on Sunday at 10:30 in the morning, which normally is not good for us. We don't play well in the morning or early afternoon typically. We're normally a better, evening team. Like 5, 6, 7 p.m. is when we play the best. Anything before that, not so much. Bryce Miller finally gets a K. Sawas 1 away. I thought we were going to have a good chance to get some Ks here, but it doesn't look like it. But, hey, he's got at least 1 before he gets pulled. Come on, Bryce. Next up for the Orioles, Jorge Mateo. And when the Orioles are a very, very solid, good team, they're literally going through everyone in the lineup 1 through 9 in the first inning. So that'll tell you something on how quality this team is. 5-1 O's. Wow. 1-0 pitch from Miller to Mateo. Pitches outside. 2-0 count. And we normally have a hard time being able to manufacture runs, and again, if we get 2 runs or less, our record is like 2-13. So the number has to be 5 runs, 7 to 10 hits, but the Orioles are already at 5. So I don't know if we're going to be able to catch back up in this particular matchup, but hopefully it's not going to be like a 15-2 kind of game. But 5 runs in the first inning is definitely unacceptable. 5-1 O's, bottom of the first, runner at second, 2 outs, 3-0 count to Mateo. Pitch on the corner for a strike, 3-1 count. Jammed him inside. Foul ball. Count is full now, 3-2. We got to find a way to get the fuck out of this inning. Already down 4 runs. Not ideal. Pitching has been a little shaky in the last couple weeks for the Mariners. 3-2 pitch. Chop foul. And we were really, hanging on them to win us games, for the first 30 games and whatnot. But again, at some point, the hitting needs to match the pitching. And especially in this particular game, Bryce might not make it until the 3rd inning. I mean, we're in the bottom of the first and he's already given up 5. That's fucking terrible. 3-2 pitch to Mateo for Miller. Chopper towards 3rd. Throw to 1st. Got him. Finally, we get out of the inning, but the damage is done. Wow. And it all started with Gunnar Henderson's second pitch of the game, goes into the front row in the outfield, and that started the run for the Baltimore Orioles. Nice job. Next up, John Means on the mound. Again, 1-0 record with an ERA of 3.09. Let's see who's up here for the Seattle Mariners. Up next for the Mariners, 0-0, first baseman Ty France. Batting second, left fielder Luke Raley. And batting third baseman Luis Urias. And I'm kind of disappointed because J.P. Crawford was supposed to come up probably and start at leadoff or in the 2-hole today after being injured for over a month, but he ended up getting a hit on the wrist last night in AAA, so now he didn't end up boarding the plane, and we hopefully will get him for the Yankees series, but we might not get him then either, so got to be able to stay healthy, and pitching needs to be better, and we need to get our role players back healthy and, ready to go. Brutal start here for the Mariners. Golly. Polanco day-to-day. J.P. Crawford still on the 10-day IL. Saucedo on the 15-day IL. And then we got a couple on the 60-day IL with Dollard and Santos. Brutal. All right, come on, Mariners. First pitch to France is a strike. 0-1 count. .243 average, 4 home runs, and 14 ribbies in 2024. Pitch is high. 1-1 count to Ty France. 5-1 O's. One pitch. Pitch is inside. 2-1 count. Low and into the corner there for a ball. 3-1 count. Pitch in the zone for a strike. 3-2 count. Come on, Ty. Cal popped up. O'Hearn, 1 away. Next up for the Mariners, left fielder Luke Raley. One pitch to Raley. Wow, good defense by Mateo there. 2 away. Next up for the Mariners, third baseman Luis Urias. Pitch is inside, 1-0 count. .154 average, 3 home runs, and 10 ribbies in 2024. Check swing for a strike, 2-1 count. Two-one pitch from Means to Urias. Big swing and a miss. A little partial chop on that ball, 2-2 count. Top of the second, 5-1 Orioles. Pitch is outside, 3-2 count. Count is full. Big swing and a miss, partial chop on that ball. One more like to get to 10 in double digits. If you haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. Someone just did. Thank you so much. Now we got 10 more to go to hit the goal to get to 20. Thank you so much. Three-two pitch from Means to Urias. Got him. Nice inning there by John Means, wheeling and dealing. Next up for the Orioles, 1-for-1 with a run and an RBI. Shortstop, Gunnar Henderson with a solo dinger to get him started. Batting second, 1-for-1 with a run, catcher Adley Rushman. And batting third, 1-for-1 with a run, common theme, right fielder Ryan O'Hearn. Come on, Mariners. Let's go, baby. I knew this series was going to be tough, but I didn't expect Bryce Miller to give up 5 runs in the first. I was thinking maybe a run, maybe 2, but not 5. And we already have a hard time, getting hits and runs and manufacturing hits and runs, in innings, back to back to back. It's tough. So it's going to definitely be an uphill battle for sure. No, he is starting. They're not going to start anybody. You don't draft someone that high for him to sit. Plus with everyone else in the quarterback room, they're not good. So, Zach Wilson, not good, right? You got rid of Danuch, you cut him, right? And then you got the other former Patriot sitting in there as well. So he'll be starting 100%. Every rookie quarterback, that went in the first round will be starting except for Michael Penix Jr. unless Kirk Cousins has some kind of season-ending injury, in preseason or, at the beginning of the season. But everyone else will be starting. Jaden Daniels will be starting for the Commandos. Drake May will be starting for the Patriots. And Nix will be starting for the Broncos, 100%. And obviously Caleb for the Bears. Yeah, Stidham, not good. Zach Wilson, boo, not good. Stidham, not good, boo, not good. I wouldn't want those guys on my roster, but I mean, at least you have them, I guess for depth, but I wouldn't want them on mine. Those guys are liabilities. They're not game managers. They were more likely to fuck things up than to actually win a game. So you don't want those to be your starters. Nix is already better than both of those players. Bottom of the second, one away, 5-1 Orioles. And hopefully in the future they can sub out Wilson and Stidham and get better backups than those two. Pitch right down the middle for a strike. 0-1 count. Rushman in the box. Miller, 0-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss. Behind in the count, 0-2. Shit, you're not going to get Stidham or fucking Zach Wilson mentoring Bo Nix. Bo Nix is already smarter than both of those guys already. He already understands, how the plays are going to work, and he's more mature. So, wishful thinking. And normally, I mean, if he was like, 18, 19, 20, maybe I would say, yeah. But when you got a guy that's already almost into his mid-20s, 24, 25, he'll be ahead of the curve over those two guys. There won't be any mentoring. If anything, Bo Nix will be mentoring the other two guys to be able to get them up to speed. That's how it's going to roll. Bottom of the second, 5-1 O's. 2 outs. Rushman with a little dribbler. Throw to first, and he's out. Next up, right fielder Ryan O'Hearn. 1-for-1 with a run. Pitch is outside, 1-0 count. Bottom of the second, 5-1 Orioles. The question you have to ask yourself, though, is that if the Denver Broncos started Zach Wilson or Jarrett Stidham, and you're watching the game at home, and with all the problems that you have on the O-line and the defense, do you actually think that you can win a game in the NFL with either of those guys? And the answer is no. You're not going to be able to win games with either one of those guys. Not with the way that the roster sits. It's not like your team is the San Francisco 49ers or the Kansas City Chiefs. It's like you don't have that luxury to have all these weapons everywhere. You got a lot of holes to fill in the next few years. So if that's the case, even Bo may, struggle and fail, with the supporting cast that you have, but you got a better chance to win with him than the other two. Throw to first. 3 up and 3 down. End of the second inning. 5-1 Orioles. I'm just being real. Like I said, it's not, regardless if they were my backups and I had Zach Wilson and I had Jarrett Stidham, I would say the same thing. They're not good enough. Again, there's going to be other guys that are going to be more qualified. Like if you're going to have a backup you need to have a guy like a Mustache Minshew. That's like the perfect backup where, it's not going to be a liability and he's borderline could start, you know what I mean, depending on who you have, right? But a guy that can actually not turn the ball over. And is he going to play great all the time? No, but he has more of a chance to win you a game than not. And he's not going to throw a bunch of pick sixes and fumble a lot. He can actually go through his reads. Again, there's not going to be that many quality backup quarterbacks. I mean, usually you're only going to have maybe about 5 or 6 that are actually halfway decent that you can call on if your starter gets hurt, they get subbed in, and then they can actually do halfway decent. But there's a lot of backup quarterbacks that are second, third string that really aren't worth a damn. They're just out there collecting a paycheck, just there for insurance, just in case. And hopefully they'll get better players as the years go on. They're not going to, you think Sean Payton is going to stick with Stidham and Zach Wilson? Hell no. Next up for the Mariners in the top of the third, 1-for-1 with a run, shortstop Demo Dylan Moore. Batting second, 0-for-1, center fielder Julio Rodriguez. Trident's up, baby. Let's go. And batting third, DHing for the Mariners, Mitch Garver. That's the problem, with Sean Payton and the Denver Bronco organization. They haven't really proven that they can draft consistently well as bringing in good free agents. So, again, you're a Duck fan and you're a Bronco fan and you have wishful thinking. But, again, you got to remember, this isn't fucking John Elway and this isn't fucking Peyton Manning. I mean, it's better than Brock Osweiler and Trevor Siemian with Bo Nix. But, again, if you don't have the right pieces in play as a team, it's not going to work. And you're already in a tough division with the Raiders, Chargers, and Chiefs. So, like I said, you have to have realistic expectations. I mean, I cover every single team as if they were my own, all 32. And you got a long ways to go before, really cementing yourself as being one of the better teams in the NFL. And hopefully Sean Payton doesn't get fired before he starts building enough pieces to get it done. Because obviously the NFL is a what have you done for me lately type of league. Wow, off the one hopper there. One away. What defense there. Unbelievable. Yeah, it's definitely going to be tough. Fucking A, dude. Westberg at third. Jesus Christ, that was a great play. Next up, center fielder Julio Rodriguez. Let's go, J-Rod. And it's not like you don't have the, no-fly zone back there. It's not like you have Von Miller there. It's not like you have a DeMarcus Ware there. So you have to realize, when your team was great when you had Peyton Manning, and then you had the no-fly zone, you had DeMarcus Ware, you had Von Miller. It shows you what you need to be able to be great. And, you don't really have that many pieces. That's not me being an asshole, it's just me being real. I don't want to sugarcoat shit and tell you got everything and you guys are going to win 10, 11 games this year. I think you already know, looking at the roster, there's a long ways to go. AFC is going to be very competitive as well. And I'm hoping that they get good. My boy Justin, my best friend, is a Bronco fan too. So, I have to keep it real though. Got to have proper expectations. And there's always a chance that you exceed the expectations. And one of these rookie quarterbacks might be able to get their team to 10 wins and maybe get to a wild card where they're like a year or two early. That's possible, but you may need a lot of injuries to happen in the division and a lot of other things to kind of happen, for that to fall into place. But I do like Bo. I feel as far as fit, that's like the best fit besides Penix on Atlanta. I think that those are the two best fits out of all the quarterbacks. And I think that those have the best chance to succeed, compared to Caleb, on the Bears, Drake May on the Patriots, Jaden, Daniels on the Commandos, and J.J. McCarthy on the Vikings. I don't have any faith in those guys, not in those organizations. So even though the Bronco organization isn't that much better than those other ones, the Patriots or the Bears or the Commandos, or the Vikings, but I feel at least they have Sean Payton, and then hopefully they can build around, Sean Payton and Bo Nix and get the right people in there. Otherwise, in a couple of years, Bo Nix and Payton won't be there, and then they'll have to start over again. So, but hopefully it'll work. Hopefully Sean Payton can mentor Bo to being kind of like Baker Mayfield, Drew Brees type of player. A little undersized, but a lot of heart, a lot of guts, a lot of moxie, a lot of intelligence, a lot of fire, and hopefully it'll work out. Means 2-2 pitch to Garver. Pitch is low into the zone. 3-2 count. And got him. Garver looking. Man, 1-2-3 inning. That was way too fast. Let's go to the bottom of the third inning. 5-1 Orioles. Let's take a look at the pitching stats so far, which are terrible for Bryce Miller. 2 innings pitched, 4 hits, 5 earned runs, 1 walk, 1 K. Not good. Absolutely terrible for Bryce Miller. No opportunity for me to throw up the Miller time, And again, 8 to 10 Ks is usually, what we're going for. And we had a person earlier in the, stream asking if Miller could get to 4 Ks. And then before the game started, I didn't really know. I was hoping, but at this point, I don't know if you're even going to get to 4, and 4 is terrible. But again, you're at 1 right now, so we'll see. But and then let's go on the flip side for John Means. He's been nice. Take a look at his stat line. All right, John Means, 3 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 0 walks, that's key, and 4 Ks. And obviously, he's still pacing for 9 or 10. So he's still in the running for 8 to 10 Ks since he's already at 4 with a few innings to go before he gets pulled. Next up for the Orioles in the bottom of the third, 0 for 1 with a run, first baseman Ryan Mountcastle. Batting second, 0 for 0 with a run and a base on ball, DHing Anthony Santander. And batting third, center fielder Colton Causa. This is, the way that this is going, that, we might get swept by the Orioles, again, because you got Luis Castillo tomorrow, and he's been like Bryce Miller and George Kirby, where it's like people know the names and we have name recognition, just like Julio. But at the end of the day, you have to look at the stats and see if they're playing well or not. And it's like, oh, you got Julio. But, Julio's got 2 fucking home runs this year. He's not at 15 or 10 or 9. He's not playing well. So it's like I feel that we get a lot of name recognition, but at the end of the day, name recognition only means so much. You have to go out there and get it. And, this one, we're not coming back in this game. I would be shocked if we do, because it doesn't look like Baltimore's done, hitting-wise. So I'm hoping that we could end up getting to 4 or 5 runs before this game is over, but not likely. And then we got, a game tomorrow in the early afternoon at 1, Pacific time. And then on Sunday, we play at 10:30, which would be obviously 1:30 in the East Coast, but 10:30 here in the Pacific. So, and we don't play good in the mornings or early afternoons, and apparently we don't play in the late afternoon well either against a team like this. So, but again, I already knew it was going to be a tough test, and you want to see how you match up to the best. And right now, Yankees, Orioles, right? Rangers, Guardians, Mariners. Those are the top 5 in the American League. And, who knows? Maybe Seattle's the 5th best out of those 5. But I just want to be able to see how we match up, and hopefully we don't quit. I don't want to see any quit in this team. I don't want us to hang our heads, and show, bad posture and body language. I want to go see that fire in their eyes, and I want to make sure that they're not giving up in games, because the stretch that we're going to be playing here, just like David said, golly, right? 3 in Baltimore, 4 in New York. And then when we go to play the Nats, we can fuck them up. But again, on the road, you never know. Again, at home in Seattle, we'll fuck the Nats up. But, obviously in D.C., they might end up being able to steal a game or two from us. So you never know. Little dribbler towards first. Gauser is out. End of the third inning, 5-1 Orioles. Let's see who's up here for the Mariners. Hopefully this individual will get something started. Big dumper catcher Cal Raleigh. Might be my favorite player on the team besides Julio. I might even have Cal number one, to be honest, just because I like players that are underrated. I really like catchers. The equivalent to a catcher in baseball is like an offensive lineman. Something that you need, but it doesn't really ever get enough love and appreciation. Cal's like a center or a guard or a tackle, that just doesn't get the recognition. He gives you power hitting. He's the most clutch hitter. He's obviously a guy that can hit from the left or the right side, right? And on top of that, defensively, he can throw guys out from first, second, and third from the knees. And, leadership. He's got the best leadership on the team, even over any pitcher, over Julio, over anybody. If I had to choose one leader of the Mariners, it's him. And again, if we didn't have Cal Raleigh at catcher, our pitching staff would probably be like top 12, not top 5 or top 3. It would definitely not be as good because he has to be able to coach up every single one of these pitchers as well as the other players that are in the lineup, and they respect him. And, he's one of those guys that, if we don't have a player like Cal Raleigh, I don't even know how many wins we're at right now. We're definitely not 24-20. We might only have like 10 or 12 wins if you don't have an individual like that on the team. So hopefully we can get something here from Cal Raleigh. Come on, Cal. There we go, Cal. Then you talk him up, and then he ends up getting a nice little base knock. There you go, baby. Sports gods are like, you know what? Yeah, this guy is a leader. He is good. There we go, Cal. Nice job. Next up, right fielder, Mitch Haniga. One pitch is inside to Haniger, 1-1 count. Top of the fourth, 5-1 Orioles. Runner at first, Cal Raleigh. Come on, Hanny. Big swing and a miss, 1-2 count. Come on, baby. Let's go, Hanny. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Help your boy out. And I was planning on going to possibly the arcade, the 2-story arcade downtown tomorrow. So we might have the day off tomorrow, Matt. I'm talking with my buddy now, to be able to celebrate our birthdays and whatnot a little late. And we might end up just going there instead of, doing the stream, since the stream starts at 1. And that way I get a little time to spend with him. We can go play some video games and maybe go get some pizza or food cart food afterwards and whatnot. But I'll definitely let you know. And then on Sunday, the game is on at 10:30. So obviously a little bit early of a matchup. Not the most ideal times, for people, to come in to like and sub and share and donate, when you got a game so early in the morning. And again, if I end up taking the day off tomorrow and doing the arcade thing with my best friend Justin, then you wouldn't have to show up on Sunday, because I wouldn't want you to wake up at 7 in the morning, even though I know you wake up around that time. But, you can take the day off on Sunday, and I can end up calling the game myself on Sunday in the morning. And then we'll go at it, obviously, on Monday with the Yankees. I believe they play on Monday. Is it Monday or Tuesday? Take a look. Or do they have the day off on Monday? No, they're in New York on Monday, so. Yeah, I ain't gonna waste no money at a place like that. Like I said, I'd rather go to an arcade. I mean, like I said, I don't really do a whole lot of drinking anymore, but the arcade, has beer and shots available and whatnot if you want to be able to drink to play the video games and whatnot. And it's 2-story, very cool. Rojas, back to the warning track, 2 away. Because next Saturday is going to be the WWE King and Queen of the Ring, right? So I'll have to look at the schedule, and I believe that one might be at like 10 a.m. in the morning. So I assume we'll probably end up doing the WWE pay-per-view. And then let me look to see. And the Mariners play the Nationals at 1 on Saturday. So that's not, obviously next weekend. So we'll probably end up doing the WWE pay-per-view, just because I haven't been able to do one in a couple months, because we had one that was in Australia, which would have been like 5, 6 a.m. my time. Then they had the France one that was like 10 a.m. And then this one will be in Saudi Arabia next week, and I believe it'll be 10 a.m. So, but we only get to do WWE like once a month, and I don't want to miss it 3 months in a row. I should have done the France one if I knew that was the first pay-per-view to France ever. I should have known the crowd was going to be energetic and crazy, and it was awesome. I watched it with Paisley, but I should have did a live stream. We missed out on some likes and subs and donos for sure. Popped up. Sowers. Another scoreless inning for the Mariners, 5-1 Baltimore. Yeah, Raleigh and Ripken. Something about the good CRs, huh? And hopefully we'll get a little bit of revenge when I go on July 3rd to Seattle to see the Baltimore Orioles. They're going to have a fireworks show after the game. And hopefully the Orioles don't beat the shit out of the Mariners. I mean, obviously Seattle will have a better chance to win at home with the crowd, but the way that Baltimore is built, it wouldn't shock me if I ended up going to the game and, the Orioles just beat the shit out of us, so we'll see. But hopefully I'll end up getting a ball at the game. That's the number one priority. All right, next up in the bottom of the 4th, 0 for 0 with an RBI, third baseman Jordan Westberg. Batting second, 0 for 1 with a K, left fielder Kyle Fowles. And batting third, 0 for 1, second baseman Jorge Mateo. Next up for the Orioles, third baseman Jordan Westberg. But again, for me, to be able to see a small market team like Baltimore, be excited about their baseball team. I mean, it's always been Ravens. So it's nice, because they haven't really been too relevant for a while, and now they're starting to, be a name the last couple of years, just like Seattle. And it's nice, instead of it just being the Astros or the Rangers or the Yankees, it's nice to have two other teams that can be competitive, that might be able to take out the powerhouse teams. And, Baltimore obviously is a much better hitting team than Seattle, very clear. And I hope one day that we can have a roster like that where we can hit like them. That could be the difference between us making the World Series and not. Pitch inside. 1-1 count to 2-1. Bottom of the fourth, 5-1 Orioles. Two-one pitch. Pitch is outside. 2-2 count. Yeah, JP was supposed to come back and possibly start, in the leadoff role today, but he got hit in the wrist, and he was already injured, though. So obviously they had to do like an MRI, and Cal Ripken was just built different. Some guys just want it more, and I feel like players in the 80s and 90s were tougher, and they would play through a lot of injuries. Nowadays, like in the NBA, a guy has a hangnail, or his neck is sore and he's out for 4 games. Like, they say load management and whatnot, but the players now are much softer than they were in the 80s and 90s. I feel like those guys, obviously on the baseball side, yeah, there was a lot of guys doing steroids and whatnot in the steroid era. Cal Ripken wasn't one of them, as far as we know, right? But he was clean, and he was just mentally, tougher than everyone else. And it is kind of mind-boggling. Just like Nolan Ryan's 5,000 Ks, that's never going to be broken, because you're not going to see pitchers pitching 9 straight innings, over and over and over again like he used to. They didn't even use mid-relievers and closers back then. It's like Nolan Ryan is pitching, he's going to pitch from the first all the way to the end of the game, right? And then that Cal Ripken record isn't going to be broken either. Iron Man. 0-2 count. Chopped towards first base, foul. Pitch is outside, 1-2 count. Sowers. And Haniger drops it. Sliding grab, he tried. Nice job by Kyle right there. Haniger tried for the sliding grab, and it popped up and out of the glove. That's just tough. Next up, second baseman Jorge Mateo. Mateo pops up. Haniger, 2 away. So, Matt, I just talked to my buddy Justin, the Bronco fan, Duck fan, Mariner fan. We were supposed to hang out, and normally we spend our birthdays in Seattle together, where we go to a couple Mariner games and get a fancy hotel. I wasn't able to afford it this year, so I told him to go take his dad, and then they went to go see the Mariners and the Diamondbacks in a 2-game set. And then we were supposed to go to the arcade last week, but then he had to dog sit because his dad ended up going to visit his brother in California. So we are going to be going to the arcade tomorrow. So we will be taking the day off tomorrow, and then I will do the stream on Sunday at 10:30. And then you don't have to, be there for that stream. If you end up waking up and you want to hop in, that's fine, but you don't need to on Sunday. And then we'll be back at it on Monday for the Yankees and the Mariners at 4:00 Pacific. And then you just make sure you're on time there. Unless something comes up, you message me. Little force out to second. End of the fourth inning, 5-1 Orioles. I mean, they haven't really put up much, since the first inning, but when you end up getting, a haymaker to the mouth and the chin in the first, and you're already down 5-0 and 5-1, mentally, you're already thinking about tomorrow and whatnot and what's going to happen then. But again, Luis Castillo might end up being worse than what we end up seeing from Bryce Miller today. So this Oriole team is the real deal. And I'm not surprised. All right, next up for the Mariners, 0 for 1, Luke Raley. Let's go, Luke. Batting second, 0 for 1 with the K. Third baseman, Luis Urias. And batting third, 1 for 2 with a run, Timo Dylan Moore. Come on, Mariners. He's got to find a way to chop into this lead. Just get it to 5-2, and then an inning later, maybe get it to 5-3, and then at some point try to get 2 runs and try to get it to 5-5. Easier said than done, but we've definitely settled in a little bit, but hitting is a problem. That's facts. Like, sub, donate, comment, share, help your boy out. 20 likes and 100 on the donos is the goal on every stream. And hopefully we'll get a goat to come through to show some love before the stream ends. We need 3 more people to smash the like button to get to 15. Or if you haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. 2 more people to smash the like button to get to 15. So if you're in the room watching and you haven't done it, please do that for us. That'll help us out on the algorithm. And if you have a Twitter/X account, do your boy a solid and like and retweet the live stream on Twitter/X. Yeah, Luis isn't very good. Again, he was kind of like a rotational guy with him and Josh Rojas at third. Batting average 4. Defense is probably his best quality for Urias, but I'm not sure if he's deserving to be our third baseman. And obviously we could have Rojas at third also, but they've been trying to play both of them at the same time. But we used to have Eugenio Suarez, and he was good at obviously hitting and defense. And even though Rojas has been better than Eugenio Suarez, I still miss him. Luke Raley, Westberg, the first, 1 away. Raley grounded out to third. Westberg. Next up, 0 for 1 with a K, third baseman Luis Urias. He's only batting 152. So that should tell you the story of Luis, And normally he's not an everyday player. He's become an everyday player recently, but he wasn't playing every game. Little dribbler towards third, throw to first, 2 away. Yeah, he's a liability. He's not someone that you can count on. We have a lot of guys on the roster that are underwhelming. We only have 1 guy batting over 300, so. And at least, for the Baltimore Orioles, they have a lot of guys close to 300. We don't really have a lot of guys close. It's like you got Julio, you got, Hollywood Josh Rojas at 325, and then, Luke Raley has got his average up to 270, Julio at 263, and that's about it. Everyone else is much, much lower. So everyone else is typically like 240 or lower. And again, if you're batting like 200 to 220 as a team, you're not going to be able to win that many games if you can't get to 5 runs or 7 to 10 hits. So, and then also everyone says, "Oh, your pitching is so great." Well, what happens when it's not? Like tonight, and it's like if the pitching is bad and everyone talks about how good our pitching is, top 3, top 5, but what happens if the guys have a rough outing? Then if the pitching sucks and then we can't hit, then we get absolutely destroyed like we are right now, 5-1. So, got to have a little bit more consistency. Pitches outside, 3-1 count. Oh, Demo. Back. Come on. There we go, Demo. Solo dinger for Dylan Moore, baby. Like I said, you just need to chip away. Get one this inning, maybe next inning, get another one. And then a couple innings later, let's get two and tie it up 5-5. Have a game plan and stick to it. Shortstop Demo, Dylan Moore with the homer, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Way to bring that electricity, my guy. And make sure you guys are taking care of your mental health, addiction, depression, anxiety, or things that people go through on the daily. Make sure if you feel you're slipping into the darkness, make those minor adjustments to your routine to make it positive so that way you can win the day. Nice job by fucking Demo. Let's go. Next up, Julio Rodriguez. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Chip away. Chip away. Nice job by Demo. Let's go, Julio. Oh, 1 pitch to Julio. Big swing and a miss. 0-2 count. Reflect in the building. What's good? Oh, yeah. Mariners, almost everyone in the organization on the Mariners chase pitches. There we go, Julio. Back-to-back hits. I like that. Let's go. Well, again, we're a bottom 10 hitting team, and we strike out a lot and we chase a lot. So that's just kind of who we are. And then a lot of times we have to rely on the pitching. And then when the pitching isn't there, then what do? It's like if you can't get to 5 runs, 7 to 10 hits, you're going to lose 90 to 95% of the time. And again, when we score 2 runs or less, our record is like 2-13. So it's not like we're going to be able to win 2-0 or 2-1 or 3-2 that often. It just doesn't happen. How's it going, Reflect? Tough outing with Bryce Miller giving up 5 in the first inning. But hopefully we can just chip away. And if Baltimore doesn't score any more runs the rest of the game, there is a slight chance that we could get close. I'm not saying that we're going to come back and get to 5, but there is a chance that we could get to 3 or 4 or possibly 5 before the game is over if they don't score any more. It might take us into the 8th or the 9th to tie it up. It's not going to be like right away, but chipping away 1 run here, maybe the next inning, 1 run, and then 2 innings later, get the 2. And then maybe if we can get it tied, 5-5 by the 8th, that we might actually have a chance in extras or something of that nature. But I'm not sure if the Orioles are done scoring yet. 3-0 pitch, right to center field. The damage is done. Demo with the solo dinger, and we'll take it 5-2 as we go to the bottom of the 5th. Yeah, we got roughed up in the beginning, man. It was not pretty. In the first inning, Reflect, they literally got through their whole lineup, 1 through 9. It was disgusting. So obviously Garver singled to left, Moore scored 1-0 Seattle. So I thought, we're looking pretty good in the top of the first, right? And then the bottom of the first, Gunnar Henderson homered on the second pitch of the game, right? First row in the outfield, so he didn't get a lot, 402 feet, but it was enough to be a homer. That was 1-1. Then Mountcastle grounded into a fielder's choice to the shortstop. Rushman scored on an error with a fucked up throw. O'Hearn safe at second on a throwing error by a shortstop Moore. O'Hearn safe at third on the error, 2-1. That's like a mouthful. Then Cowser ended up doubling to right. O'Hearn scored and Mountcastle scored. Santander to third, 4-1. And then Westberg hit a sacrifice fly to center and Santander scored. Then it was 5-1. That was all in the fucking first inning. So, and then obviously we just got Demo here in the top of the 5th to homer. So, it hasn't been ideal. It's definitely been pretty rough. And again, it's going to be, pretty rough. We got Orioles, then Yankees, and then I believe, based on what David said, we got the Nats. And I'm not really worried about them, but obviously Orioles and Yankees, that's a huge test. So. But at least Demo got us on the board. Nice job, Demo. Next up for the Baltimore Orioles with Northwest ties, Oregon State, 1 for 2 with a run. Catcher Adley Rushman. Batting second, right fielder Ryan O'Hearn. And batting third, first baseman Ryan Mountcastle. Back-to-back Ryans, huh? Yeah, almost every away series, it seems like we dropped the first one. And the thing is we play at 1 o'clock Pacific tomorrow on FS1, and then we play at 10:30, on Sunday. We don't play good in the morning, lunchtime or early afternoon. Like, we play good in the evening, but we don't play good at 10 a.m., at noon, or at 1. So I think there is a very good possibility that we could get swept, in this particular series, and then hopefully we can win at least one of the games. But, I mean, just based on how things are going, unless we come back and win tonight. If we come back and win today, then we can go 2 out of 3. But if we don't win here, we might only end up winning 1 or none. And then hopefully we can go into the Yankee series focused and we can do something against them, on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. But Yankees with, Judge and fucking Juan Soto and Giancarlo Stanton and, Garrett Cole and company. I mean, it's not going to be easy. It's going to be tough. So hopefully we don't get swept back-to-back series. That would be terrible. But it could happen. Bottom of the 5th, 5-2 O's. Pitch it outside. 2-2 count. Adley Rushman went to Oregon State. Remember when Oregon State was winning all those championships? And they had a lot of players that were going to the major leagues year in and year out. They had a nice stretch for, 4, 5, 6 years where they were in the running for winning championships, and they won a couple. Yeah, Adley Rushman went to the Beavers. Oh, yeah. I was a Pop Warner backup quarterback. I played tight end, played backup quarterback. But again, when the team was really, really good and they ended up making the championship game, I ended up breaking my leg early in the season, so I couldn't end up playing on the roster. But again, if I was able to play, I would have gotten some good time at wide receiver and tight end, and then also I was backup quarterback because I had a good arm. So, but that was the last time I ended up playing football. Again, I was thinking about doing it in high school, but I was a better athlete for basketball. So then after I ended up breaking my leg, I ended up lining up at the end. I smacked the fucking quarterback, and then I had like 5 players from the opposing team jump on me, and then they bent my toes back all the way up to like my knee. So imagine your foot is like this, and then it got bent all the way back with all the guys on top of me. It snapped, and then I was out for the season. So, but I always enjoyed Pop Warner playing, wide receiver, tight end. Wanted to throw me at defense, for a couple plays here and there, or, playing safety or corner or lining me up at DN just for like a gimmick play, just to try to get the sack on the QB. But played for a couple years, but I was much better at basketball than football. But then even when I ended up transferring for basketball, I was on varsity and I was starting point guard, and I gave it up when I transferred from Aloma to Canby. And because I decided that I wanted to do the phone sales job. It was a Fortune 500 company, and I knew that I was going to learn a lot of skills. So I had my friend Derek and my friend Fong, and we went to go work for True Green Chemlon, a Fortune 500 company, when I was 17, when I was still a senior in high school. And then they had the number 1 sales rep, in the company. Out of like 100 locations, 2 in every state, we had the number 1 rep, in the Lake Oswego branch. And then I ended up learning everything to learn, on sales and etiquette and how to talk on the phone with inflection and, all the secrets on how to be able to talk to people and listen properly and whatnot. And I know some people were pissed at me that I gave up, being starting point guard, my senior year when I transferred from Aloha to Canby. But I just knew that this job opportunity was, going to be special. I was the first one to move out of my high school. A day or 2 after graduation, I moved out. And, I don't regret it. Sometimes I wonder what could have been, if I would have played. I mean, it's not like I would have gotten a scholarship to like, Oregon State or Oregon or even some smaller school like Portland State. Maybe I would have been able to play like at a community college, and then maybe I would have been able to get on to a 6th man or a 7th man or 8th man on some type of team, but it just wasn't in the cards for me. So. But I've always been a pretty fucking good athlete, overall. Like I said, I can still shoot, I can still throw. I can still throw a football 50, 60, 70 yards. I can still throw a baseball. I can still hit a baseball. I can still shoot threes and free throws, even though I haven't really been practicing a whole lot. Besides, as of late, I've been going to the park with Paisley just to kind of test my skill set. But again, I was a madman growing up. I mean, I used to play sports, from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., for a good chunk of my life. So I was always out bouncing around from park to park, playing tackle football, baseball, basketball, running it from park to park. So I didn't have the mentality to play football on the highest level because, again, you have to be a little crazy to play football, right? And if you don't have that craziness, that crazy in your eye, when you're playing offense and defense and you're doing the drills, you're going to get pushed around and you're going to get hurt and you're going to get knocked over by the crazy asses that are on the team. And obviously growing up here in the Beaverton area, we had a really good quality amount of athletes that kind of merged together from different schools. Popped up, Mountcastle, 3-away. But again, the same year that we ended up having Kellen Clemens from Burns, Oregon, Derek Anderson that went to Scappoose that ended up going to Oregon State. Kellen Clemens went to Oregon for the Ducks. And then the third best quarterback in the state was my actual quarterback that I played in Pop Warner, Nick Costa, who ended up winning the 100-meter dash as a freshman and was incredibly fast. And I remember when we used to run plays, we would end up just running like a QB sweep. He would hike the ball and then just run to the sideline, and no one would catch him because he ran like a 4.1 or 4.2. So anytime we played in like 6th, 7th, 8th grade, no one could catch the quarterback. It didn't even matter if you had the angle. He was tough too. It was like he was a type of guy that was really muscular, and he was a lefty. So then when they would do drills where you would line up like back to back, and then you would do the drill where they would say go, and then one guy has the football and the other guy has to tackle him, he would be the guy that he would either have the football or not. But he was so strong at quarterback that he was like decleating linebackers on our team. So again, when you have a quarterback that's got that winner mentality that's tough, he could throw a spiral in 7th grade for like 70 fucking yards. And this guy was a lefty. He was like Steve Young. It was just the craziest shit. It was like Steve Young as a thrower and like Michael Vick as a runner. And he was like unstoppable. But again, he was a little undersized. He was only like 6 foot, 6'1". So then when he went to go do basketball, like at Arizona, he got like a partial scholarship or some type of scholarship there for basketball and football, but he just never was able to get on the field because of his height. There was other quarterbacks that got in, and Derek Anderson ended up making it to the NFL. Kellen Clemens made it to the NFL from Scappoose to Oregon State, from Burns, Oregon to, University of Oregon, but Costa never got the route. But if Nick was able to get to Oregon State or Oregon, who knows if he would have gotten a chance to get on the field to do something. So, but I didn't have that like killer mentality where I'm like, oh, I'm going to hurt this guy. You know what I mean? And I feel like when you play Pop Warner, you have to have that like crazy ass mentality. Like you want to hurt everybody. It's like, I'm going to decleat this guy. I'm going to hurt this guy. Like I just didn't have that. I wasn't a pussy. I wasn't soft. I wasn't going to be like, oh, don't touch me. But I just didn't have, that killer mentality to be the best that I could be on the football field. Maybe if I would have played high school ball, it would have came. But, I had some aggression, and my childhood was kind of rough. So that made me play really aggressive in sports. But even with that being said, I put out a lot of that aggression, more on the basketball court rather than the football field. But after breaking your leg, that was it for me. Top of the 6, 5-2 Orioles. Top of the 6, 5-2 O's. Means on the mound, Haniger in the box. Haniger crushes it foul. But I was much better, like I said, at basketball than football. Football, I think if I would have played, I would have been able to score a few touchdowns, throughout the season, but it's not like I would have been like, 20 receiving touchdowns or anything like that. Like I would have been able to get a few, depending on, what kind of weapon I was and how I was used and whatnot. But when I played basketball, I normally scored about 20 points a game, and I wasn't even a ball hog. I was a facilitator at point guard and whatnot. So I usually tried to get the assists and the blocks and, take charges. I would slap the floor. I was like that intense guy, playing point guard that was, trying to be able to will everyone to play a little bit harder and whatnot. So pretty much on every level that I played, I was like a 2010 kind of guy and whatnot. But again, I'm only 6 foot. So obviously undersized, and once you get into like high school and whatnot, you got point guards that are going to be 6'5", 6'9". It's hard to compete when you're only 6 foot and whatnot. But I definitely held my own. But I don't have any regrets. Like I said, I ended up learning a lot of skills, and I ended up meeting a lot of amazing people. And again, it ended up leading me to end up doing this channel here today. Top of the 6, 5-2 O's. 2 outs, 0-1 pitch to Josh Rojas. Kind of odd that they put Rojas in the 6 hole, but Demo has played well in the leadoff role. And J.P. Crawford, I don't know if you saw the highlight. I was going to send it to you last night, Reflect. But J.P. Crawford got hit on the wrist last night. He was going to fly with the team. I think he was going to be the leadoff hitter today, and he would have been starting for us today in the leadoff role, but he got on the wrist, and I think they had to do an MRI, and I don't know if the results have come back yet. So I think now we're going to have to wait to the New York series to see if he'll fly, and he might not even be ready then. So unfortunate, because JP was really close to coming back, and then he got hit in the wrist in the Tacoma Rainiers game, and I saw the highlight last night. Almost made me throw up, because as soon as he got hit on the wrist, it wasn't like kind of, nicked him. It got him, and he slammed his fucking batting helmet down, so it went straight into the dugout. So it looked a little bit more severe than it could have been, but hopefully it's not broken. The last thing that we need is no J.P. Crawford for the rest of the year. Pitch is high, 2-2 count. Oh, do I think I could take Caitlin Clark one? Fuck no. Caitlin Clark is amazing. She might have had 10 turnovers in her first game and maybe went 5 for 20, and still got 20 points. But, even though she's a female, some of these females are better than the guys now. Throw to first. Got him. They're in the building. How are you? And I think, as of lately, too, with Sabrina Ionescu, and, you're seeing all of the ladies that got drafted in the WNBA. If you actually look, this is the best, women's basketball has been in a long, long time, since maybe back when the WNBA first started, when they had Cynthia Cooper and Lisa Leslie and Rebecca Lobo and Cheryl Swoops. Why do I remember those names? I don't have any fucking idea. I did remember watching the WNBA the first year it debuted because I was interested. I wanted to see how good they were. Are they good or are they overrated? And obviously those were amazing females. And I feel now with the ladies that you have that they're just as good as some of the men. Now, some of the dudes obviously are going to be a little bit more athletic, guys that will be able to throw down 360 dunks. But if we're just talking about shooting, a lot of these females are just as good, or if not better, from the free throw line or from the three-point line. I mean, excluding guys like maybe Damian Lillard and Steph Curry. But, I mean, if you're looking at some of these ladies now, like Sabrina and Caitlin and a few others, I mean, they definitely can then hang with the dudes, And, again, if you ended up watching the All-Star game, when they end up doing the competitions, with some of these players, either paired up or going against a female, I think you're going to start to see, how good of shooters that these ladies are compared to maybe what they were a couple years ago. This is the best athleticism and shooting skill set out of a basketball player on the female side that we've seen in a long, long time. Well, we're not talking about defense. We're just talking about shooting. The NBA doesn't play defense. So, if you ended up having a female that just posted up at 3 and they never guarded her, you could score points. You're acting like what? Like she wouldn't be able to cross over any dude in the NBA and wouldn't be able to score points is ridiculous. You obviously haven't watched any of the women's play in the tourney, if you're saying stuff like that. I mean, if we're talking about athleticism, guys are going to have the athleticism, but if we're just talking purely shooting, some of the women could definitely, if they were just left open at the three-point line and, they play defense like they normally do in the NBA, which is none, yeah, they would be able to still score. Back. Oh, Julio! No fly zone. Stole a home run. There we go. Wow. Julio Rodriguez robbing a homer. That was sweet. That was like Ken Griffey Jr. Wow, look how high he got. That was unbelievable. Wow. They're going to turn that into a baseball card or a poster. It was like 3-4 feet above the wall. That was amazing. Santander is like, what the hell? Nice job, Julio. Wow, incredible catch. That was the best robbing of a home run catch possibly of the year. That'll be up there. That'll be on SportsCenter Top 10 for sure. That'll be on all the Mariners socials. That'll be on MLB.com. That'll be on socials. That is one of the best robbing of a home run that we've seen in 2024, or maybe even the last couple years. Very Griffey-like. That was awesome. I mean, we're still down 5-2 and we're going to lose, it looks like, but at least we're robbing home runs. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Help your boy out. Let's see what we're at on the likes. And hopefully we can get some donos to get started on the dono train. All right, we need 5 more likes to get to 20. So if you haven't smashed the like button, please do. 4 more to get to 20. And we're not going to be streaming tomorrow because I'm going to be spending time with my best friend to go to the two-story arcade. We're going to go do that instead. And then on Sunday, they play at 10:30. So I'll probably end up doing the 10:30 stream, even though it's incredibly early. But we will be taking tomorrow off. And I will end up spending some time playing some video games, maybe eating some good food cart meals, maybe some pizza or burgers. And then I'll end up doing the game at 10:30 on Sunday in the morning. And then we'll be back at it on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday versus the Yankees in New York. So hopefully we can end up getting some support here tonight since we won't be streaming tomorrow. And then when I stream on Sunday, it's going to be at 10:30 in the morning. I don't know how many people are going to come through to support me at 10:30 in the morning for a matchup. Probably not a lot. So anything that we can get today will definitely help. 2-2 pitch. Chopper towards first. Foul. Two pitch. Wow. Bryce Miller. I mean, like I said, Bryce Miller and George Kirby, they're either hit or miss. Really hot or really not. And I'm very concerned about our pitching staff. I've always been concerned about the hitting, but we could always fall back on the amazing pitching. But now it seems like the pitching is disappearing and the hitting is still bad. So instead of gaining more wins and getting above 500, we're 4 games above 500 now. After we play the Orioles and the Yankees, we might be below 500. Very concerning. Next up for the Orioles, third baseman Jordan Westberg. Appreciate that. $10 holla. Thank you so much for stepping up. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks. A little Cactus Jack, bang, bang. $10 holla, 90 to go. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. For me, like I said, I like playing games where we can beat the game together. So usually there'll be some like shooting games like Time Crisis. We usually do like Ninja Turtles, Sunset Riders, side-scrolling, cowboy shooter where you're going across the screen, like old school like Neo Geo games and old school games from like the 80s and 90s. We can always do Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat or Killer Instinct, but a lot of times it's like X-Men, the arcade machine that has like the 6 different controls where you can play with friends. Ninja Turtles, all the different Ninja Turtles. It's like we always try to find games where they're multiplayer, where we can beat a game together. And then also we'll go at it, NBA Hang Time, NBA Jam, but Hang Time was like the last one that came out with all the updates. NFL Blitz, a tournament edition. And they usually have these like dual machines where it's like NBA Hang Time and NFL Blitz, like 2001. So if I ever got rich enough, that's what I would buy. I would buy a dual machine that had both of those games in it. And we're very competitive. And again, I feel like I can beat my buddy Justin on the basketball more times than not, but we're very close. And then on the NFL Blitz, it's kind of back and forth as well. Sometimes I'll end up winning by a lot, and sometimes he'll end up winning and whatnot. But they also have good racing games. I like Hydro Thunder and Hydro Thunder 2, where you're like on a hovercraft, and when you end up moving the steering wheel, it kind of feels like you're bouncing on the water. I like that. I like Mario Kart. I like Cruising USA. So, I mean, it just kind of depends. I like Star Wars, where you get in the, and you're like flying a vehicle, and you're like, shooting the lasers off. So it kind of just depends on what machines are available and whatnot there. But it's 2-story, and sometimes I'll even go in there before we leave, and I'll do a little arcade. They'll have like a old school like Terminator 2 or Goonies machine, and sometimes they'll have newer ones like Stranger Things or something relatively new that you can get in on and whatnot, Ninja Turtles and whatnot. So I try to do a little bit of everything there when we play, but I won't spend too much time on the pinball. Maybe a few bucks. I'll play for maybe 10-15 minutes on a couple machines just to get it into my system. But usually we'll be doing racing games, fighting games, sports games, shooting games, or side-scrolling games where we can try to beat a game together. So. What do you want to do for photos? Anything else that you want for photos? Reflect, I gotcha. And again, I don't really want to miss out, on the game tomorrow. It's on FS1 at 1 o'clock. But there is TVs there as well, and I can always put it up on my phone and whatnot. So we'll probably end up watching. I'll end up watching a good chunk of the game before we end up going, but we'll probably go around 2 or 3 o'clock. So the game will still probably be around, the 4th or 5th inning at that point. Maybe 6th or something. So Westford flied out the left, 1 away, goes to 2 away. Bottom of the 6th, 5-2 O's. But again, it's for his birthday and my birthday, which we were supposed to do this arcade trip a few weeks ago. So better late than never. And, we have a WWE pay-per-view next Saturday, I believe at 10 a.m. for King and Queen of the Ring. So, and then the Mariners play at like 1 against the Nationals. So we'll probably end up doing the WWE stream. If I have energy, then maybe we'll do the Mariner game after, or we may just do the WWE one. So I can't miss 3 WWE streams in a row, but they've been all foreign. Australia, France, and now Saudi Arabia. They're really trying to make that money over there. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. We're at 10. I need to go. The Demo or J-Rod, I got you. Big swing and a miss, 1-1 count. Bottom of the 6th, 5-2 Baltimore. And we just have to find a way to chip away and try to get to 3, by the 8th inning. Preferably 4 by the 8th inning. So if we could end up getting, 1 run in the 7th and 1 run in the 8th to get it to 5-4, and who knows what could happen then. But Baltimore's been a little cold since that first inning, and we're starting to kind of get a little bit of rhythm, but we're not giving up. But it's not pretty. But obviously, once you end up getting means to go out, that's when we can possibly start getting some runs here. Popped up. Cal Raleigh, love his leadership. And our pitchers wouldn't be as good without him. Mo. Appreciate you, Reflect. That's a cool one. Whoever took that snapshot, you get a raise. Got to get Means out of the game so that way we can start getting some runs here. Next up for the Mariners in the top of the 7th, 0 for 2, Ty France. Let's go, Ty. Now Means is out of the game finally. His final stat line, 6 innings pitched, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, no walks, 4 Ks, 95 pitches. Now we got Webb in, and hopefully we can find a way to, get a few hits back to back to, kind of just tip away. We're not going to be able to get 3 in one inning more than likely, but it is possible to get 1 or 2 runs at some point in this inning or in the next inning. And if we're only down by 1 run going into the 9th, then we have a chance. Come on, Ty. Pitches outside, 2-2 count. Yeah, but even though I won't be streaming tomorrow, I will be watching the game for sure. And hopefully I'll be able to watch like 2/3 of it before my buddy shows up. And then I'll be able to watch the last of it on my phone or at a bar or restaurant near the arcade. So, and I haven't had a cheat meal in a long time, so really looking forward to that. Throw to first, 1 away. Don't know if we're gonna hit up a food cart for like Mexican, or if we're gonna do pizza by the slice at like a special place down there, or maybe burgers. Last time we ended up going to the arcade, and we did pizza and burgers, and then we ended up going to a Blazer game, but we got no Blazer game to go to, so maybe we'll go to Voodoo Donut after if it's not too long of a line, or maybe we'll just go home. So, and I'll still have to take care of Paisley and whatnot, but it'll be fun. I'm excited to be able to see what games they got in there, and again, we usually beat a game every time that we've gone, so we'll see what game we end up beating this time around. Yeah. And I haven't had a day off in a long, long time. I haven't had a cheat meal in a long, long time since the last time I hung out with him. So I have been craving a little bit of what a pizza or a burger tastes like. But hopefully the Mariners end up playing well tomorrow. Which is high and inside, 2-2 count. Top of the 7th, 5-2, Baltimore. Webb on the mound, Luke Raley in the box, 0 for 2. Come on, Luke. Chop towards first, foul. Yeah, I don't really like taking days off, but again, my buddy wanted to go on Saturday, not Sunday. So, because he usually does like shopping and stuff and taking care of things like errands before he has to go to work on Monday. So I get it. Busy guy and whatnot. So, and if King and Queen in the ring and the Mariners are going to be on next Saturday, then we might as well go tomorrow. Get it out of the way. There we go, Luke. Nice little bloop single there. Single to center. I like that. Nice job, Luke. Top of the 7th, 1 out, runner at first. Webb on the mound. Next up, third baseman Luis Urias. Come on, Luis. Oh, they got Dominic Canzone in. Here we go. Good decision. Dirty Dom in the game. Like it. Good decision here by Service. I like this. Let's go, Dom. Chops one foul. Line in the count 0-1. There we go, Dom. Let's go. Dom. Get yourself a calzone, my guy. In the zone, Canzone, baby. Webb, see, we just had to wait for fucking Means to get the hell out of the game, and we can actually start to get some hits here. Here we go. Next up, shortstop. 2 for 3 with 2 runs and an RBI and a homer today. Demo Dylan Moore. We might be able to tie it up here. Runners at first and second with 1 out, but also there's a possibility for a double play. Luckily, we haven't hit into too many of those, as of late. But if we can chip away, we can get 1 or 2 runs here and get it to 5-4. I mean, best case scenario, we tie it this inning. But even if we get 1 and we can get it to 5-3, 5-4, and just chip away, we will have a chance as long as the Orioles don't score any more the rest of the game. Now, if they end up getting 1 more, then we're fucked. But if they keep it at 5, I think the Mariners have a chance, that we could end up tying it and maybe going into extras and maybe possibly winning 6-5 in the 10th if we could get to that point. Never know, but, wishful thinking, right? Let's go, baby. $5 holla. Good decision. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks. A little cactus jack. Bang, bang. $5 holla. Paisley. You miss Dad? You miss Dad, Paisley? Dad misses you. I know, baby. Daddy's almost done. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, cactus jack, bang, bang. Go. 15, 85 to go. Miss Dad. 0-2 pitch to Demo. Chopper. Uh-oh. Double play. 1. Fucking A, man. Double play. It's like anytime we get to that point, it's like, it's always in your back of your mind, like, don't get into a double play. Don't get into a double play. And then what happens? You get into a double play. But, tough. 5-2. We could have chipped away. That could have been 5-3 or 5-4 if we wouldn't have hit into a double play right there, but that's baseball. Next up for the Orioles, 0-2, second baseman Jorge Mateo. Batting second in the order, 1-3 with a run and an RBI, shortstop Gunnar Henderson. And batting third, 1-3 with a run, catcher Adley Rushman. I see you, Oregon State Beaver. And you could definitely build a team around Henderson and Rushman. They got two franchise guys on the team. Not saying that the rest of the lineup isn't good. I mean, their team is awesome. But they got two guys that you could literally build around. And it's nice to be able to see a small market team like Seattle have this kind of success, but not against us. Can't believe we hitting that double play, but I actually can. Brutal. I'm going to get a drink here real quick. Paisley went back to the couch. She's got her nice little spot ready to go. Let me know what else you want to do for photos, and I got you. Due up here for the Baltimore Orioles, 0-2, second baseman Jorge Mateo. Pitch is outside, 1-0 count. Cody Bolton on the mound. Matt's talking in first person, second person, third person, fourth person, fifth person, sixth person, seventh person. Matt talking like Dwayne Johnson, The Rock. The Rock says, Matt says. Bottom of the seventh, 3-0 count, 5-2 Orioles. Bolton on the mound, Mateo in the box. Which is in the zone for a strike, 3-1 count. Little dribbler foul. Full count now, 3-2. Appreciate you, Reflect. See how close we are getting to 20. Hopefully we're pretty close. See where we're at. Mateo. Jesus, all the way to the wall. You kidding me? Oh, he's going for 3? Wow. Unexcusable. Third. Wow. A triple for their 9-hole hitter. That's unbelievable. If you haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. We need 3 more people to get to the goal, to get to 20. So if you're in the room, we got 13 in the room on that side and 17 on the Twitter/X side. Unbelievable. Mariners. What are you doing? How you letting Mateo in the 9-hole get a fucking triple this late in the game? Jesus. Next up, shortstop, Gunnar Henderson. There goes Bolton. Now Snead is coming in. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Help your boy out. Three more to 20. If you haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. For what, the Ducks? I mean, it's not going to be Troy Franklin. You know, like I said, we'll have guys that will step up and there'll be new chemistry, you know, with Dylan Gabriel with the roster, you know, but it's kind of probably has to be a little bit of wait and see, you know, the first couple games to see like who the main targets are going to be, you know, the type of game, you know, we got no Bucky Irving, you know, obviously on the Bucks. Franklin is gone, you know, Nix is gone. The whole good chunk of the offense, you know, is going to be brand new. So it'll be interesting to see, like, you know, what the leftover pieces, you know, do and what guys step up from the guys that are left over. And then some of the transfers and some of the new pieces that we got. You know, on the defensive side of the ball, it's going to be very exciting, you know, with our secondary and, you know, what we got on defense. We're building that side of the ball, which is nice to see. But, yeah, we'll have to wait and see, you know, as we get into the games on who's going to end up being the star on the team. Santos is on the 60-day IL. They say July 1st will be the soonest that we see him reflect for the Mariners. Polanco day-to-day. KP 10-day IL. Saucedo 15. And then Dollard and Santos 60. Phillies are playing some great baseball, man. Good for you. You know, to start off strong and not instead of just being, you know, kind of shitty in the beginning or average, and then having to get really, really hot about a month and a half before the playoffs, and then riding that momentum. You know, and again, you know, you got Braves, you got Dodgers, and you got Phillies. You know, those are going to be the top dogs, you know, pretty much every year in the National League. But every once in a while, you'll get, you know, another team that, you know, will surprise people like the Diamondbacks last year. Henderson, that'll bring in a run. We lost. Wow, back-to-back triples. Are you fucking kidding me? Shitty effort by the Mariners on defense to give up 2 triples. Are you kidding me? That's Baltimore Oriole baseball now, huh? Right? You get your 9-hole guy to get a fucking triple first of the year, and then Gunner's like, fuck it, I'll do it too. 4th triple of the season, and I'll get an RBI. Unexcusable if you're the Mariners. You cannot allow back-to-back triples when we can't even get fucking singles on our end. You're giving up back-to-back triples? Christ. Jesus. Yeah, Tez and Evan are going to be the top. You know, and then we'll see if any other guys will, you know, fill into the role. But at this point, you would assume Tez will be the one, you know, unless Evan gets more targets and makes more bigger plays. But yeah, but you know, we'll see what the others do as well, with like Brian and Holden and the rest. Yeah. 6-2 Orioles, brutal. Next up, catcher Adley Rushman. Maximus McCree, cool name. Pitch is outside, 2-1 count. Even Paisley couldn't bear to see this ass whooping. He said, woo, woo, I got to get out of here. I got to go to the couch, Dad. Bottom of the 7th, 3-1 count to Adley Rushman. Now, if Adley gets a triple, I don't know what to say. We've already seen 2 triples in this inning. 6-2 Orioles. Big swing and a miss, 3-2 count. Oh, God. Is he going for a triple also? Jesus Christ. A double. Okay. He's like, nah, I'll keep it easy on you guys. I'll just get a double. Triple, triple, double. Shows you how important pitching truly is. And if you don't have it and you go against a superstar team, you will get fucked up. And that's exactly what's happening to the Mariners now. 7-2 Baltimore. I hope when we end up playing the Yankees, it doesn't go like this. But again, they got Aaron Judge, they got fucking Juan Soto from the Padres, and Giancarlo Stanton. So, yeah, I don't want to see back-to-back sweeps. That'll be too much for my heart to handle. We're 4 games above 500 now. After that Yankee series, we might be 3 or 4 games below 500 if this trend continues. I hope not. He said, woo, just a double. Man, oh man. Hayes in the box. Big swing and a miss, 0-1 count. Austin Hayes in the box. Pinch hitting for Ryan O'Hearn. Pitch is inside. 2-1 count. Pitch is outside, 3-1 count. Come on, Sneed. Three-one pitch. Fucking A, man. Everyone gets a goddamn hit on Baltimore. Another RBI. Going to second. It's like everyone gets a double or triple on Baltimore. This is ridiculous. Wow. 4 in a row. 8-2 Baltimore. I hope one day that the Mariners can hit like this. Where we can get back-to-back triples and back-to-back doubles. Jesus Christ, man. And even Hayes came in to pinch hit and he got a fucking double. That's ridiculous. He's cold. He's been sitting in the dugout the whole game. There is no reason for him to get a fucking double, but when your pitching stinks, I guess that's what happens, huh? (8-2) Orioles. Boo! Pitching, boo! I hope to God we play better tomorrow and on Sunday. My heart can only take so much of an ass whooping. Golly. Wish JP didn't get hit on the wrist. We could have used a little bit of a lift. It's not like that was going to make a difference in this game, but it would have been nice to see JP in the lineup. Yeah, very, very true. Very, very true. Third string might be too generous. Fuck, man. No Matt Brash. Everyone getting injured. Next up, 0 for 3 with a run, first baseman Ryan Mountcastle. I mean, he's 0 for 3, so he'll probably get a double or triple or a home run. I mean, keeping the trend going. Eduard Bazardo. He's got an ERA of 12. Is that good? Are they? Oh, that's good. That makes me feel a little bit better. What inning is it? Oh, I see it. 3-1. By the top of the fourth. I'll take that. Sometimes the games will be, up above, and sometimes I'll have to click the arrow to see, but I see that they're on the top right. Pitch is low. 2-0 count. A dozen donuts are good, not so much in pitching. Yeah, I agree. Especially if they're voodoo or Krispy Kreme or crumble, cookie crumbles. Pitch is low and into the dirt. 3-1 count. Oh, now they're doing the wave. Nice catch there by Ty France. One away. Mountcastle lined out to second. Next up, DHing for Baltimore, Anthony Santander. 0 for 2 with a run and a base on ball. Had a home run robbed by Julio Rodriguez earlier in the matchup. Pitch is inside by Bazardo. 1-0 count. Yeah, the cereal toppings on, like for me, I'm a maple bar guy. Like I said, everyone's got like their favorite type of donut and whatnot, but I feel like if I had my choice, typically maple bar would be my number one. If they have it and whatnot. I mean, obviously I could go for a good bear claw once in a while too. I like those, but have the maple bar and then with the toppings on top, cereal toppings and whatnot. It's a game changer, man. Like mixing and matching. Pitch is inside. 2-1 count. Big swing and a miss. 2-2 count to Santander. And we only need a couple more likes to be able to get to 20. So if you haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. If you're watching on Twitter/X, hop on over and smash that like button. We still need 3 more people to get to 20. And that'll help us out with the algorithm. We're at 17. 2-2 pitch, chop foul. Upper deck foul ball. That's a nice souvenir for a fan for Santander. Ay, 8-2 Baltimore. It's not easy being a Mariner fan. Little dribbler, throw to first, 2 away. But again, it's good for us to be able to understand, where we're at and how we match up against the best of the best in Major League Baseball. Because at the end of the day, it's Yankees, right? Orioles, Mariners, Rangers, and Guardians. I would say those are probably going to be the 5 best, in the American League. We'll see. There'll be a little bit of movement in the Central, besides, the Guardians and whatnot. But even with Shane Bieber fever with the Tommy John, you can never count them out in any game. They're very slippery and sneaky. Same thing with the Minnesota Twins. The Twins are sneaky too, where I don't think people really give them a whole lot of credit, the Guardians and the Twins. And if you take them lightly, they will suck you in the mouth and beat you. So I will give the Twins and the Guardians some respect. And then obviously Dodgers, Braves, Phillies in the National League. And who will be that 4th team to join those powerhouse 3? We got to wait and find out. I mean, besides the Cubs and the Brewers, those are the 2 teams that you can say now, and they'll be battling it out. I wish we ended up having a guy like Skeens stealing home, and he's safe, 9-2 Orioles. Have you got a chance to reflect to watch any of Skeens yet? The Pittsburgh phenom, the guy that pitches 101 on every pitch that he does, and it seems like he'll get most guys shoot for 10 strikeouts. For him, it's like I feel he could get 10 to 14 Ks on any game that he pitches. He's incredible, and it's like probably the best prospect since Steven Strasburg on the Nats. But I think this guy's even better. Strauss was highly touted, but then had injuries. But we'll see where Skeens ends up going. But seems like he could end up being potentially a Hall of Fame pitcher. Hopefully his arm doesn't, get blown out with the Tommy John by pitching 100, over and over and over again. But he's incredible. He's a type of guy, first pick in the draft, on the Pirates. He just got called up, dating Livy Dunn, social media influencer, LSU gymnast. Big power couple between the 2 of them. But he's the only guy in Major League Baseball that can pitch 100 every pitch. And he retires aside, 3 Ks, 3 Ks, 3 Ks. I don't think I've seen anybody do that in baseball in a long fucking time. Where a guy can pitch, 3 innings and have 9 Ks by the end of the 3rd inning. It's incredible, if there's anybody that could potentially get 15 to 20 Ks in a game, it's him. As long as that arm can stay strong. Pitch in the zone to Westberg, 0-1 count. Yeah. If you end up watching on Twitter/X or YouTube, just look him up and you can see how nasty his pitches are. And it's not just speed, it's location too. But I haven't seen too many dominant, pitchers, that have that aura about them, and have that swagger. But he has multiple pitches. And again, once he gets into his zone, it's 101, 101, 101, 101.2, 101.8, 101. It's just wild, man. I don't know how long he'll be able to sustain that 100-mile-an-hour, status. At some point you would think his arm will fall off, but so far so good for Skeens. But if you go and look, every pitch is I'm not even joking. He rarely pitches in the 90s. It's almost every pitch that he throws, even his first pitch and his last pitch will still be 101. He'll start the game off 101.2, 101.4, and then the last pitch in the 6th or 7th inning will still be 101. I've never seen that. So hopefully he'll stay healthy. Yeah, but if you get a chance to watch, I would highly recommend. And he's only had, I believe, 2 starts. He just got called up. And I think today was his 2nd start, I believe. The first start, he didn't get any run support. And it ended up, losing, I think, that first start when they ended up playing the Cubs, I believe, or someone else. I'm trying to remember who he played in that matchup. And then they played the Cubs today. But they ended up winning 9-3. And he strikes out his first 7 hitters, doesn't allow a hit in his first road start. Strikes out 11, 6 no-hit innings. Insane. Strikes out the first 7 fucking hitters. Jesus. I hope one day the Mariners can have a player like that. Yeah, but again, like 10 Ks is low for him. Like, I honestly think, like, you know, the new standard for him will be like 12 to 20. Like, I know that sounds kind of crazy, but again, as long as his arm stays healthy, you know, he could actually get numbers like that. I mean, the last time I remember a guy getting 20 Ks, like what, Kerry Wood for like the Cubs? Like, you just don't see guys getting 20, but, you know, it is what it is. End of the 7th inning, 9-2 Orioles. Mariners playing like your Cardinals. Not good. Even though you guys are starting to turn it around a little bit. Next up, 1 for 3 with a K, Julio Rodriguez. But again, the Orioles are one of the best teams in baseball, so I'm not really that shocked right now. Was hoping for the best, but you know, kind of assumed that this could happen. Yeah, I mean, as long as he doesn't get hurt, that's going to be like that fucking Shohei Ohtani bobblehead last night going up in value. Like, you know, as far as like prospects and, you know, being able to, you know, make money and whatnot, like Ellie De La Cruz for the Reds is very popular and you're going to see his stuff gain in value. But as far as like pitching, like there is no one hotter than him. And like I said, a lot of his stuff is going to be worth a lot. So, like, you know, again, for collectors, you know, if you have extra money, you know, getting a PSA 9, PSA 10 rookie card auto of Skeens now, you know, would be probably smart. Even if you have to spend $200 or $300, you know, if it has potential to go up to, you know, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, a K, you know, especially if he keeps playing the way that he's playing, putting Pittsburgh back on the map, you know. 20 Ks, yeah. On the Red Sox. Yeah. But you don't see 20 Ks that often. You know, it's like very far and few between. But I guarantee, you know, Skeens will probably end up, you know, breaking some records this year. You know, you'll probably see him with like a 12K game, you know, a 15K game. And then if he's wheeling and dealing, you know, maybe if we're extremely lucky, maybe we'll end up getting a 20K game or something like that. So. Megan in the building. How are you? Top of the 8th, 9-2 Orioles. And we'll be taking the day off tomorrow, but I will be watching the Mariner game against the Orioles at 1. I'll be going to the arcade and having some heat meals, having a good time. And then we'll be back on Sunday at 10:30 a.m., really early, for the last game in the set for the Mariners and the Orioles. And then we'll be going to New York to face the Yankees, one of the funnest series to watch. Mariners and Yankees Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Big swing and a miss for Cal Raleigh, behind in the count 0-2. Come on, Cal. Oh, feel better. Sorry that you're feeling sick as of late. Hope that gets better for you. 0-2 pitch. Bauman to Raleigh. There we go. That's a fair ball. Go, baby, go. There we go. Stand-up double for Cal Raleigh. There we go. Nice shot, Cal. Way to bring that electricity to the lineup. Hits are far and few between for us here. Next up, right fielder Mitch Haniga. Well, the Orioles are one of the best teams in baseball. A lot of people think they're going to make the World Series this year. So, you know, you got Orioles and Yankees, you got Mariners and Rangers, right? And you got Guardians and Twins. That's what you got in the American League. So, some days we're going to play well, and other days we're going to get roughed up, and this is one of those days. You just got to give the respect to Baltimore. They're fucking fantastic. They're young and up and coming, just like Seattle, but they're a better hitting team than us, and it shows. And their pitching is better than us at the moment too. So hard to win a game when you only have 2 runs and you give up 9 and you give up 5 in the first inning. Definitely shaking the confidence a little bit for our pitching staff. 2-2 pitch from Bauman into the dirt, 1-2 count. One-two pitch from Bauman to Haniger. Pitch is low and outside. 2-2 count. My Air Max Vapor finally blew the air bubble today. And it was starting to get really thin on the bottom. I was trying to make the shoes last as literally as long as I could. And I was hoping that I didn't have an air bubble pop on me, but the left one gave way. So before I end up going to the arcade, I will be looking at what options I have for walking running shoes tomorrow. And luckily I still have some of that set aside for that from before when I was telling you guys that I needed them. And I almost bought some, but I couldn't decide on what Nikes or Hokas or what route I wanted to go, or like New Balance. Like I was like, damn, I was like really, really close about like a month ago. But then I was like, man, I couldn't decide. So then I was like, well, I'll just keep wearing these until they fucking, my bottom, ends up, showing through, or my toe starts popping out or whatnot. And, when you walk for an hour and a half, 7 days a week, those shoes didn't make it a year, but they did make it, about 8 months, 9 months and whatnot for the Nike Air Max Vapors, and not the ones all the way, from the beginning to the, front to the back, but it's like a half air bubble, but still pretty solid of a shoe. But I don't know what direction I'll go. I guess I'll have to go to Dick's tomorrow, and I'll take a look at their New Balance, their Hokas. I'll look at their Nikes, and then, try them on and see which one will be a good fit for me. Yeah. But also, too, you're probably not walking the same amount that I'm walking. That has a big factor into it. If I'm walking in all terrain and mud and rain and sleet and snow, and I'm walking, an hour and a half, 2 hours a day, obviously that's a lot of wear on a shoe. And then if I'm doing that 7 days a week, that's definitely going to be more walking than the average person. So I'm glad that your shoes are still in shape, but when you're walking as much as me with Paisley, I need a shoe that's going to last. But even if I end up getting the top rated shoe, it's going to wear out. I mean, it's going to be impossible for me to live in Oregon, to go through the elements, to walk an hour and a half to 2 hours a day and think a shoe is going to last a year. I don't think any shoe is going to last. Probably the longest I'm going to get a shoe to last is about as long as I had this one last, probably about 8 or 9 months, and then I'll have to get another one. But it is what it is. I got to be able to take care of Paisley. So, we'll see. We'll see what styles that they have, and hopefully, I can find something that has some style and has some comfort, and that isn't too expensive. But I imagine, Megan, thank you for the like and the share on the Twitter/X. But I imagine that I'm gonna have to probably pay $150 to $200. If I'm lucky, if I can find a sale, on a shoe for cheaper for like $100 to $125, of course I'll do it. But it just seems like sometimes when they have shoes that are on sale, you have to look, to see, if it is a good value, or if there's something that maybe costs a little bit more. So we'll see. Hopefully I can find something that I like and whatnot. But again, when I ended up, going for the walk today, the most annoying thing is like when you have an air bubble pop, right? And then you have one shoe that's normal, and then you hear the hissing sound like a snake every time you take a step. So it's like normal. That gets really old really quick when you're walking a dog. When you're hearing the hissing sound, like I got a snake popping out of my shoe on every walk, on every step. So bottom of the 8th, 9-2 Orioles. Yeah, Brooks, I'll be looking at those. Hokas, Asics, Nikes, I'm going to be looking at a lot, and again, a lot of times I like going for black, shoes, just because, obviously they clean up the nicest. And, if I'm walking in mud and, And if I'm walking in, grass and fields, if I end up wearing, like white, they'll get destroyed. If I wear a white shoe, that might only last me like 6 months. It might get deteriorated a little bit more. So appreciate that. Thank you so much. $100 holla. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, a little cactus jack, bang, bang. And again, my goal at some point is to get 2 pairs, instead of just getting 1, so I can alternate to make the shoes last longer. But, my finances haven't been that good, so I do appreciate that very, very much. So that way, that'll maybe help me be able to get one, tomorrow, and then I'll be able to maybe get another one as a secondary shoe, and then I can kind of alternate back and forth instead of just wearing one shoe over and over and over again. So thank you so much for your generosity. I appreciate that. Shoe fund will definitely go into effect. Thank you. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, cactus jack, bang, bang. Let me know what you want to do for photos, and I got you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And like I said, things cost so much. Paisley's dog food is 80 plus, and then obviously shoes are normally closer to 200 rather than 100. So it'll definitely help me a lot. Thank you so much. Sebi Zavala checked in at catcher. Julio, 2 away. Next up for the Orioles, shortstop, 2 for 4 with 2 runs and 2 RBIs with a solo dinger in the first. Gunnar Henderson. Cool name. Thank you. Appreciate you. You always go above and beyond. And again, I can't do the channel without people like Megan and Reflect and a few others that, go above and beyond. Because again, if I was only getting like $1, $2, $5 a stream, there's just no way I would be able to continue to do this. So, you need to be able to have, people step up when they can, do it, and, get an occasional 20, 50, 100, 200. So that way that, I can actually survive. So thank you so much. End of the 8th inning, 9-2 Orioles. We're going to the top of the 9th. Last opportunity for the Mariners. Let me know what photos you want, and I got you. And we'll be going to the arcade tomorrow to be able to spend time with my best friend Justin and having a cheat meal day. So no stream tomorrow. I'll be streaming on Sunday morning at 10:30 for the last game between the Mariners and the Orioles, and then we'll be streaming I think around 4 o'clock Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday range when we go to New York and play the Yankees. Next up for the Mariners, 2 for 4 with 2 runs and an RBI. Shortstop, Demo Dylan Moore. Batting second, 1 for 4 with a K, center fielder, Julio Rodriguez. And batting third, 1 for 4 with an RBI and a K, DHing for Seattle, Mitch Garver. Let's go, baby. Finish strong. Let's try to get at least a 3 before the game is over. I know everyone is kind of checked out already, but I like to be able to see effort. And again, I like energy, I like passion, I like effort. And again, most people are already thinking, okay, what's for dinner? I need to go have a shot. I need to have some booze. I need to go meet up with friends. They're thinking about, okay, what are we doing tonight? But again, I want them to be able to hopefully, keep trying so that way momentum can carry over into tomorrow. Otherwise, if we play like this, we're going to get swept. We're going to lose tomorrow and we're going to lose on Sunday. And I don't want us to lose all 3. At the very least, I want us to win at least 1 game. The only problem is, tomorrow we play at 1 o'clock. We're normally not that good in the early afternoon. And then on Sunday, we play at fucking 10:30 in the morning, which is a recipe for disaster. So we'll see how it goes. If I was a player, 2 teams that I would never play for, Number 1, the Houston Astros, and number 2, the Houston Astros. That's it. Every other team is a go. Besides the Seattle Mariners, my favorite team to play on would be the Montreal Expos because they don't exist anymore. And they have an amazing logo and amazing color scheme. Bring back the Expos. They should have never left to go to D.C. for the Nats. If we still had the Montreal Expos today, oh my God, it would have been so amazing. But again, they didn't have the funding or the money. But man, I think that baseball would be better off to have 2 teams in Canada with the Toronto Blue Jays and the Montreal Expos. That was one thing that I was a little upset about. You know, like I said, great players. Pedro Martinez before he was a name. Randy Johnson before he was a name. Oil Can Boyd. Marquise Grissom. I mean, they had some players there, I mean, think about that. They had Randy Johnson and Pedro Martinez on the same team before they knew that they were that great. Crazy. Andres Galarraga. One for 3 today for the Mariners. Luke Rayleigh. Top of the 9th, 1 out, 1-1 count to Luke. We'll get some photos for Megan before we go. Aaron Judge, good choice. Popped up, 2 away. And we'll stay on here for, like a little bit. So that way I can properly get some photos here for Megan and y'all. So we're at, 2 hours and 40 minutes. So we'll probably go to that 3-hour mark if the game ends right here. I'll throw some photos up for a good 15, 20 minutes for Megan and y'all. And then we'll call it a day. And then I'll be back Sunday morning at 10:30. Pitch is outside. 1-0 count. I wouldn't want to be a part of Houston because of the cheating and the scandal. So they continue to continuously cheat even to this day. Blanco had the sticky stuff in his mitt. These guys don't quit. You thought the Patriots were bad. Houston's even worse. They don't respect the game. They don't respect themselves, and they don't respect the league. There's no one like them besides them. So Yankees and Dodgers have great history. Sounds like you're a Houston fan. Amazing pitching staff that likes to cheat to put sticky stuff in the glove. That's not skill, it's cheating. Three-two pitch. And this should be it here. Colton Cowser calls it off. And there it is. Final score, Baltimore Orioles 9, Seattle Mariners 2. Get some photos up here for Megan. Yeah, I don't mind the Brew Crew or the Cubbies. They're pretty good there in the Central this year.
Yeah, great swing, great power. You know, regardless if you hate the Yankees or you don't like Aaron Judge, I mean, you know, he's money. You know, he's must-see TV. There's not too many players in baseball that are must-see TV besides Shohei Ohtani, but Aaron Judge is definitely one of them. Yeah, nobody crushes a baseball harder than him besides Shohei Ohtani. Like, both of those guys are, you know, built like machines. You know, anytime you're built, you know, 6'4", 6'5", and, you know, they look like they're 250, 260. You know, they're built like almost like a football player or like a basketball player. You know, and then when they lock in, you know, that ball is gone. I mean, there's no coming back from it. So. Always good to have that type of excitement. And on top of that, both of them not doing steroids or, you know, cheating with like PEDs. So it's nice to be able to see guys that are natural that can do things like that, just like the guys did when they were in the PED era or the Balco era of cheating and the steroids. Anything else that you want to be able to have in the lineup before we go? We still got a few more minutes that I'll keep putting some photos up for you. Let me know what you're thinking. It can be any of your favorites. Like I said, I'll be here for another 12 to 15 minutes. We're at 2 hours and 48 minutes, and I got to still take Paisley for a walk, and eventually I'll be eating some dinner at some point, but I want to make sure that we get all of your favorites done before we end the stream. So, you know, and then, you know, we'll go for another 10 or 15 minutes here. So I'll get these deleted, and then we'll go through them here one more time, and then you let me know anything else that you want. And I got you. Same thing with YouTube Reflect. I'll squeeze in a couple Tay-Tays for Matt. That way he doesn't have to talk in first, second, third, fourth, fifth person. Okay, I got you. Yeah, a good way to kind of end it here with you. Good old Pete. Going from the old regime to the new. Exciting times. All right, let me get back to a sec here. Make some more room here real quick. We'll go for a few more minutes. Hopefully the Mariners put out a little bit more effort tomorrow and Sunday than they did today, but shows you how good the Orioles are. They could end up making the World Series this year, or an ALDS, ALCS for sure. No problem. We'll finish it off with some Steve here. We got into Steve a little bit yesterday, but we didn't get all of the ones that I wanted to show. We did like maybe half of the ones. So some of the ones that we didn't get to see that are at the bottom, I'll put those ones up. The Boz and Steve. High stepping before high stepping was a thing. Love me some black and white. I am an old soul. You know, it's crazy too. I ended up reading this like description of like what an old soul is, and it goes over like all these characteristics. If you're like an old soul, it creeped me out because literally every single thing out of like the 50 things that was written on this post was like me. Like literally there was, you know, how sometimes you look at like astronomical, different numbers, and you're going through astrology, and then you're going through, oh, I'm this sign, and this is my characteristics, this and that. And sometimes, you know, some of those things can be true, but sometimes you'll find things, you know, in your astrological sign that isn't true, but most of it kind of lines up. But as far as like the old soul post, I was like almost like confused. I was like, wow, I have never read a post like to the T that was me. So I guess I'm an old soul. But I've seen a lot of posts, you know, through like, you know, different astrology stuff. And, you know, most of it kind of lines up for me being a Taurus and whatnot. But I've never, ever read something where they had like 30, 40, 50 different comments, you know, on what an old soul is. And literally like I line up on everything. I was like, whoa. Yeah, for real. No problem. The old school days, man. Beautiful. All right. Well, I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. Thank you so much to Reflect and Megan for making the stream successful. Megan, in back-to-back nights. Thank you so, so, so much. Again, obviously, we'll go towards the shoe fund, and maybe at some point I'll actually be able to get more than one shoe and whatnot. Today was fantastic, besides the Mariners losing by 7 runs, but you guys made the stream successful, so thank you so much for your guys' generosity and love to the channel and for my dream for me and Paisley. Tomorrow we have the day off, but I will be watching the Mariners hopefully find a way to even up and win tomorrow as I go to the arcade and have a cheat meal. And then I will be live on Sunday at 10:30 a.m., which I know will be a little early for some of y'all. And then also I'll be live on Monday at 4 o'clock in New York against the Yankees. So I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. I know I will. And I got one question for you. Who you know talks sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, and I'm out. Gang.